on this miraculous Monday, giving all praises to the Most High. And we are grateful for another opportunity to come before you to express a conversation or conversations and let you eavesdrop on what me and God's been talking about. I hope that all is well with you and your family. I hope you are experiencing the greatest awakening in your soul and your spirit that you've ever had in your life. Remember, your body is not going to wake because it is dead. But your spirit and your soul is what you're feeding. And as you feed that, it begins to express something so much greater than what your body could ever do. Now, your body is just a vehicle. That means you don't need to take care of it because it's carrying that treasure, that treasure inside of you. And so we have to find balance in keeping this as well as possible. I've been sending out some different things and different natural remedies that can assist you. I'm not a doctor, it's for entertainment purposes only. But I have been trying some of these things because I have a desire not to be on medication. So if I can discover something natural, because the body heals itself, and we've been putting so many toxins in it, and medications and foods and lifestyles, that we have just corrupted it. So it is time to reverse. It's time to get in the reverse. It's time to do what it takes to continue this journey. Remember, we're just traveling. This is not our home. So we want to do as much maintenance to maintain this vehicle until we get to another dimension or we transition to another assignment. So whatever it takes for you to get your vehicle in order, whether it's oil, water, whatever it takes, we've got to do that. If it means giving up some things that you have just grown to love to eat and it is not benefiting your body or benefiting who you are, then it's time for a change. We must get to the place in the space where we can make the necessary changes to allow ourselves to be the greatest version of ourselves. So I hope you're doing your meditation. Listen, you must be consistent in your meditation. Because if you're not consistent, there are things in your body that will begin to take over. If you're consistent in the things that are corrupting your body and not the things that are uncorrupting your body, then those things are going to take over. And so we must, in God we trust, we must begin to be very consistent on a daily basis in doing your meditation, doing those natural remedies, eating as well as possible, exercising whenever possible. 30 minutes walk, you're done. At least 30 minutes. Let's allow ourselves to be healthy. Not trying to get, not wishing for something out of the sky to make us healthy, but doing the work that we need to do. And so that's the advertiser for today. That's good in the neighborhood. When we begin to do that, we expand the strength, the motivation, the energy, the power, the chi, and we expand all of that so that we can go and we can feel better, in our bodies. The reason some of us do not do anything is because we don't feel well in our body. And so we must breathe. We must breathe. We must breathe. We must get ourselves into this space and place where it offers us the best vehicle we need to carry on this journey. Okay? So your deep breathing, you must do that because we are dealing with flus, pandemics, COVIDs, all of that. It is important that your lungs are healthy and strong. So we need to do our research, do the deep breathing. If you incorporate the deep breathing with your meditation, we need to do meditation in the morning. We need to do it at night. We need to clear our minds. There is so much going on that if you're not doing that, you're going to get a clutter. And when you get that clutter, it's going to begin to affect your body. And sometimes it sneaks on us and we don't even know. We don't even know. that those things are going on until boom, one day you get up, you don't feel well. And so let's practice being the best we can be and doing the work we must do to keep our bodies in an active, in a healthy, in a vibrant, in an energizing state. All right? All right, today we are going to talk about a patient mind. Now, when I think about patience, I look into this world, and this world has no patience. Everything is fast, fast. Everything is right now, right now. And I don't mean that in the manifestation way, but I mean in a pace that it does not allow you to, what can I say, grasp or pay attention or be mindful, focus. It causes us to go in a whole different realm. And so what we must do at this point is practice being mindful of what we're doing, what we're not doing, what we're seeing, and what we're not seeing. So, what I want to talk to you is about a patient mind. What is patience? Patience is allowing yourself to be able to, I don't want to say wait, but the patience to pace yourself to get to the point that you are willing or you're desiring to be. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Okay? Please don't pray for patience, because patience only comes through tribulations, through problems, through situations. Because patience is a teacher during those times. And when you pray for that, you're sometimes opening yourself up for some more stuff to come in, because every time you have a situation, patience must be present. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, you must have that present. And so my daughter was sharing with me a conversation that she had with God, and God told her, just be patient. And it wasn't a big giant word, but I thought it was necessary that sometimes we are not patient with ourselves. He not only said be patient, he said be patient with yourself. And so when we ingest being patient with ourselves, we are going to be patient with others. Okay? Because whatever we sow into us, we begin to reap those things. As a man soweth, that he shall reap. And so you reap patience, people being patient with you, you being patient with them. And so we have to remember that we must sow into ourselves first. And yes, I got loud because I wanted you to hear that. I will for you to hear that. We must sow into ourselves. God gives seed to the sower. So when we begin to sow into ourselves, we must love ourselves. That's sowing into ourselves. We must be patient with ourselves. That's sowing into ourselves. Now, being patient does not mean being lazy. Patience has activeness in it. What do I mean by that? While we're in a stage of patience, we must still be active doing the work that sows within ourselves, so that we can grow within ourselves in order to be able to be a very good example for others to experience, for others to see the light, for others not to just, it's like once you know your worth, you don't have to prove yourself. But the patience is for you. The patience is for you. It is not for everybody else. That's just what you're going to give off. That's the interest you're going to give off, or the interest that you're going to give off once you begin to sow into yourself patience. A lot of us want it right now, and we've got to distinguish the manifestation of right now versus the patience of right now, because it's like a difference. The manifestation of right now means you have gone into your spirit and you have accessed the power and the presence of the Most High God. And you are going to call those things that are not as if they already were. So the now in the time factor is not the now in the eternity factor. And when you get the fullness of that, then patience comes, because you recognize, I told you in the beginning, this is a vehicle. And the vehicle will go as fast as you sow into it. If you don't sow into it, you won't grow into it. And that's good in the neighborhood. If you don't sow into it, you won't grow into it. So allow yourselves to sow and grow into yourselves. As you begin to do that, you begin to recognize that it took patience for you to get to this point. So it's going to take patience for others to get to this point. I am awakening in so many areas in my life, but in my awakening, I am recognizing that just because I've awakened in this area, maybe somebody else has not arrived there. So I must be patient, because God was patient with me and others were patient with me till I got to this point. We can't get, excuse me, in such, where do I put it? In such a big way of being judgmental because others have not reached that. And I found myself doing that. But as I look back into myself to see where I've come from, I have experienced those same things that other people are doing now. We're in the awakening season, and God is allowing us to be there, but at our own rate, in our own spaces, in our own places. And so the awakening allows us to have everything in common. It eliminates competition. It eliminates me judging someone or someone judging me. It allows the love and the patience of God to allow us to have a will to be at that point. And so we must be patient with those that are just coming. It's like the tortoise and the hare. It's not that I got here first, but it's the consistency of the tortoise. It is not the hare factor of being so boastful and so in a space of judgment about someone else. It is allowing everybody. We're actually going in the same direction. We're just going in different speeds, and we're going in different phases of consciousness, and we're going in different phases of awakening. But when you awaken to the patience that you have with yourself, then you'll awaken to the patience that you have with others. Yes, everybody does not do it like you do. But because they don't do it like you do, doesn't mean they're wrong. Because you see it one way and they see it another way. To them, it might be an awakened state from what they used to be in rather than where you are. So let's allow patience with ourselves to be our major factor of being. And then we will grow into having patience with others. So our biggest issue is when people don't do it like we do it, we have a problem with it. And so we've got to come out of that. When you've reached the point, when you've reached the point, then your job is to reach down and assist. Be a light. And when I say reach down and assist, if they're in the darkness, be a light. That's all you have to be. It's just be a light. If I be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto me. So if I lift the light up, it's going to draw people to an awakening and a consciousness in which they can grow from and grow to and grow about. But the patience is challenging for us, because when we've reached a point and somebody else hasn't reached that point, we are impatient for them to hurry up and do that. So everybody has their own pace. Everybody has their own space. There are some that you're going to connect with, that you're going to be yoked with, that are right where you are or higher. Now, just because you've reached a point doesn't mean there's not somebody that's up here. And so you'll need them to shine the light to pull you up. And as we begin to pull each other up, we have a bond, we have a connection, we have a space and a place that we can grow from. Remember, you're only strong as the weakest link. So if you see a person that's weak in consciousness, and hasn't awakened, you're as weak as that person, because we're all connected. We're all energy. And so as soon as you become the light, now listen, we can't teach anybody anything. Only the Spirit teaches. But we can remember, and we can give tools and opportunities and encouragement and motivation and the spiritual evolutionness to those who have not reached it yet. So this is just, patience is something you can just say. You can look at a situation and say, oh, well, it hadn't got there yet. And then it takes all the stress off. Let me tell you, impatience adds dis-ease, which causes disease. And so I was doing a task today. And usually when I'm doing this task, I'm not so greatly fond of doing the task. And so what I had to do, I recognized it was causing me dis-ease, because when I'm not doing it, I don't have this disease. But when I was doing it, I had this disease. So in the task today, I had to find the patience to see and grow into this situation so that it wouldn't cause me disease. I had to see the good in it. What's good about it? I had to have the patience to go from distance to distance and allow myself to be patient with that. During that space, from the point of beginning to getting there, all of that's patience. Oh my God. That's your life. That's your dash. Your dash is patience. From birth to the end of transition, all that space in there is patience. And so when you get to impatience, it doesn't speed you up. It only slows you down. Did you know that? You know, when I was working and I would leave the house late, I knew that there would be certain traffic if I didn't get to a certain space. It could be like 2 minutes off. And so what I would do is leave late and then try to speed up to make up for the time that I was late, so that I could get to that spot before that traffic started. You know what I recognize? You cannot catch up with time. I don't care how fast you go. And what happens is you become impatient, you don't pay attention, and it could cause you to be in some type of accident. So that's good in the neighborhood, y'all. Y'all can take that, an example of leaving late, trying to catch up with time to get there on time. You can't do it. You just can't do it. And so what we have to do, if we're leaving late, we must become patient. We must breathe and say, I'm leaving late. And so allow myself to focus, pay attention, and get to the destination. Sometimes you're late on purpose because God has shielded you. If you had left on time, you could have gotten into an accident. Something else could have happened. So sometimes, I'm not talking about you people that are consistently late all the time. That's an issue that you got to deal with on another level. But those people that find yourself running late sometimes, different situations happen. Even if you had a flat tire, we have to be patient. There's a reason for everything. All things are working together for our good. But we only see the good in the good. We don't see the good in the bad or the wrong or the thing that caused us to delay ourselves. And if we would allow ourselves to just have a patient mind. Remember, heart first, mind, then line it up with your head first. Because your head first is never going to be patient. It's always going to be impatient. But your heart mind is always going to be patient, because it is ruled and it reigns in the light of God and the truth and the faith. So it's always going to be at a patient mode. It's always going to move you at the right speed. It's always going to slow you down when you need to slow down. So this is good about patience. I never recognized all this was impatience until I started talking about it today. It's going to slow you down, or it's going to speed you up, or it's just basically going to keep you level, and it's going to keep you balanced. And so what we have to do is instill. Now, how do you have a patient mind? Practice. Practice. You have to be we are so impatient with everything that we don't recognize that we're not patient, because the world is moving at a speed and we're trying to keep up with the world. But remember, we're travelers, we're not dwellers. So we cannot be conformed to this world. We have to be transformed by the renewing of our mind in a more patient way. Ooh, this is good in the neighborhood. I'm talking to me if y'all not getting this. But a patient mind takes time because we really have to slow down. Now, another way that you can build your patience is meditation, because meditation slows everything down, puts you in a mode of rest. I just got to share this today. I wasn't going to share it, but I'm going to share it now because I have to be on a realm of showing you that I'm just not talking because I don't have anything to do. I can be doing a lot of things. But went to the doctor today and my blood pressure was extremely high. Like extremely high. So I get in there, they take my blood pressure and immediately become concerned. So the doctor came in and said, "What is wrong?" I said, "There's nothing wrong." And I'm in the back of my mind, I'm saying, be patient with yourself. I have faced a lot of things on my own, by myself, with 2 kids. And I always was in a fast mode to get things done, to make sure things are done, to go out of my way to make things done. And so God and I had a conversation. He said, either you're going to trust me, you're going to trust you to trust me. And it's not based on a time factor. It's based on my presence. And so anyway, they took it and then they gave me some medicine. They said, well, they're going to give you this medicine and make it come down really quick. So they gave me the medicine, came back and said, you got to wait like 30 minutes. Came back, took my blood pressure. It was the same. So the nurse, who I know is spiritual, I know this nurse is spiritual, and I'm so sad because my insurance is not going to let me stay at that doctor's office as of November the 1st. But the nurse I know is spiritual. She said, wait a minute. She said, get up here, lay on the bed. She cut the lights off. She put a small light on, and she said, relax. As she did that, then I got my phone and put on a meditation. And so they allowed me to meditate for 30 minutes. When they came back, my blood pressure was down by 40 points. It was like 180 something at first, and it was down to 140. In 30 minutes of meditation, it brought it down. Once I left there, I continued with my rest of my activities, and then when I tested my blood pressure later, it was where it's supposed to be. So I'm saying all that to say this. Meditation gives you patience. It allows you to activate the patience. Patience is really inside of you. You just don't access it. That's why you don't need to pray for it, because you were built with patience. You were built to handle all of these situations for such a time as this. And so it allows you to calm down and remember who you are, whose you are, and trust yourself to trust God. And so now that activity, I went ahead and did that activity today in spite of what had occurred. And I recognize that I am my worst enemy when it comes to my blood pressure. Not that you don't have to exercise, eat right, and all of that information, but I'm saying you are the physician. Physician, heal yourself. Now, am I saying don't use doctors? No, because I went to the doctor today. I'm saying the doctors give you the symptoms and the signs, and then it's up to you to do your part. God's going to do his part, and then then the healing will come. Now, medication may be a part. It's how you decide. I'm just saying, utilize the power that is in you. Utilize what God is giving you and begin to have a patient mind with yourself. Me getting things done at a certain time is not always necessary. That's me. That's me saying, I want this done by such and such time. We have to slow ourselves down. We have to meditate. We have to trust ourselves, to trust God. And we have to know that He is going to take this journey with us. We're not alone. You might not have physical people that are assisting you, but you're never alone. And so, as we get to this point of a patient mind and being patient with yourself so that you can exercise patience with others, we get in a state of peace, a state of joy, and a state of assurance that we are insured by the Master, that He has us covered, that He has us in His arm, that He is not surprised about what the doctors said today to me. And I'm not surprised that He's not surprised. So neither one of us are surprised, because I know what He knows. But sometimes we don't pay attention because we are not patient. And we look over the signs, and because we got to get this done, and I'll rest later, or I'll do something later. No, now is the time for you to be patient. Listen to your body. Pay attention to the things that surround you, and be mindful that this is the ultimate time for you to be in a patient mind. Well, this is Michelle. I'm your motivator. I hope today has been a blessing to you, like it's been a blessing to me, because some of this stuff I said, I didn't even know it till I said it. But it's the eavesdropping of the conversation that God has with me, and then you can benefit from it. It's not like I want to know stuff and then not help somebody else know the same thing. But you have to have a willing mind, because I can't force you to know. You have to make a decision to know. And so we're in this space, in this place, in this patient place. I'm talking about just patience just slows it all down. If you're in a rat race, even when you're sitting in traffic, if you just become patient, meditate, think on those things that are good, it slows everything down. Your heart rate, your blood pressure, your dis-ease, so it stops disease. Oh man, we have not taken enough time with patience, but we have been rushed because the enemy is in me. It's in you. You make the decision to go and be and do and have everything. Whew. Let's take a breath on that. That's what I had to do. Inhale this information. Exhale impatience. All right? Well, you've been created by the Creator to be creative. So start creating your creations in patience and begin to walk this journey at your pace. Don't let anybody speed. That's why there's a fast lane and a slow lane. Get in the slow lane sometime and just look around and enjoy God's presence, the trees, the birds, the butterflies. I've seen so many butterflies this season. I've seen white ones, yellow ones, red ones, multicolored ones. I've just taken time for this season to see the butterfly, because I recognize that the butterfly hasn't always been flying. The butterfly has been on the ground, being kicked around, walking in the dirt. But the moment that the butterfly, in the right timing, butterfly had to be patient and go through that situation to get to the place where they're no longer on the ground. They're flying above. But there's an awesome time and a place and a space where you just have to find yourself alone and close yourself up in your cocoon and just be patient, because I promise you, there is a day that you will fly away. from all of this frustration into a space and a place that you can feel free. Remember, freedom is our birthright. We have a right to be free. It's not something somebody gives us. It's our birthright. You were born to be free. Man, this good. Look, I'm already at 30 minutes. Let me get out of here. May the love, joy, peace, power, sound mindedness be your soul food for today. Thank you, HAPS TV, for this platform. Download the HAPS app. You can support this broadcast and others, or create your own free app. All you have to do is download it. It will stream out to all of your social medias. So you only have to do your speech one time. Just set it up and begin to enjoy your birthright. Remember, freedom is your birthright. Well, may the love, joy, peace, power, sound mindedness be your soul food for today. This is Michelle. I'm your motivator. I'm your spiritual innovolutionist. In today's Michelleology, Innovolution, meditate. Listen, meditate tonight. Breathe. We got this. Be blessed.